сейчас на Facebook закину это тоже. Hey. Can you hear me? Please type something. Great. All right. Arthur is preparing the questions, and if you have yours, I'm ready. Okay. All right. Sorry for this delay. I had a completely crazy day. I think everything that could have went wrong went wrong. My laptop crashed, and then we're trying to figure out the camera. Can you send me the link, please? Hey, Raz. By the way, don't be shy, guys. I mean, we have whooping 3 people watching. It's not new. I think when we moved to this office, we got these chairs. All right, let me quickly post this to Facebook as well. All right. So, finally, I have my questions. All right, let's wait for like 1 more minute for somebody to join us. Probably share this in the Discord as well. And in the comments. So the advantage of having this on YouTube is it's easier for everyone to see, but less people get the notification, I guess. All right, let's start. Hi, everybody. As last time, please type your questions in the comments. I'll prioritize those. But if there are no questions from you, I will read from my list prepared for me by Arthur. So let's see. Are there any plans to let us see what all the maps look like compared to each other, or adding or offering the second board neoprene to the box? Okay, so the board's question. So I will try to prepare some sort of, probably in the future update, a more detailed overview of all the maps, how they're different, why you would want to use one over the other. In general, the one of the maps is using the maps from the Guards 2 box, and the other one is using the old maps from Guards of Atlantis 1, but we're gonna rework them both in terms of graphics and in terms of minion placement. So they all play differently. How differently, I will probably cover in a separate update, because otherwise it would take too long to just describe all of it. All right, hey Des. Okay, next. Are you going to offer sleeves for optional buy-ins? We want to. We actually wanted to do it along with the mats, but we cannot get exact number from the manufacturer yet, so this will have to wait. Once we do, you're gonna see it there. Okay, I think this one already answered. What is the replay value of this game? Okay, this is a funny one. Where to start? Well, you have, first of all, like a normal game, you would have a character, and the character would have maybe a special ability or something. And then you have another character, he has another special ability. In cards, every character is effectively multiple characters all at once. Moreover, over the course of the game, you're not going to see all the options because the upgrades are mutually exclusive. I would say that even the core box would take you, I don't know, 20, 30 games to see everything there is to see, at least. If you throw in the hero packs, well, it just skyrockets from there. And the boards add more variety. I think if there is something which I'm completely 100 million% sure about, it's that we have enough replayability in the game. Seeing your background, how are the chances for something like a Guards of Atlantis poster? I don't know. I'll need to check the numbers. Well, and I need to see the demand. Like if there's a demand for this, we can consider this option. Great question. How do I register for the ongoing tournament? Will there be other tournaments in the future? Maybe. Probably yes. How do you register? It's super easy. You go to our Discord. You ask Raz, Des, or Ryan to participate in your qualification game. It's very like it's nothing like you don't have to win it. It's basically to make sure that Tabletopia works for you, that you understand how all the interface work there, and that you're familiar with the rules. It can be combined with a learning game. If you don't know the game, you're gonna have a learning game, and then you qualify for the tournament. It's very non-hardcore. Like the game is hardcore, but the tournament we want to keep very friendly and as open to the newcomers as possible. That's kind of primary thought behind it, to basically get familiarized with the game while having fun, and for people who cannot play, so that they could actually watch the games and understand how it plays out and what is it all about. Sneaky question from Raz. Is the delivery date super safe estimate, or is it your best bet? Like if you asked me this in December last year, I would say yeah, it's super safe. Nothing can possibly go wrong. But we all know by now that a lot of things can go wrong. So I cannot tell you that this is like 100% million chance this is when the game is going to be there, but this is the date we're aiming for, and we're going to make everything that we can that we hit it. But of course, unpredictable stuff can happen, but that's just the nature of things. Caldwell asks, the hero packs seem pretty expensive compared to the core game. As someone who maybe doesn't want to get all free, how would I decide which is right for me? All right. So 2 questions in one. One is price of the hero packs. I've seen that comment asked once in a while. I think they're priced fairly. It's just the core box is very cheap, and we did it on purpose to basically let as many people to get in as possible. Now about your question, how do you pick? Every day I spend a few hours to write this hero spotlight in the updates. The campaign is 23 days. We have 22 characters. I didn't do it on the first day, so on every day of the campaign, I'm writing a hero spotlight for one character. I'm done with core box by now, and now I started to move to hero packs heroes, and I try to kind of split between the packs, so we kind of cover them more or less evenly. And basically, I suggest you just follow those updates and see what I write there and see which characters speak to you. You don't have to decide now. Like when you select the reward, it just says like how many packs you want, but which specific packs those gonna be, you will be able to select on the pledge manager, so you don't have to make that choice right now. Day 10 unlock, but the star-based complexity rating threw me off at first. At first glance, I would think that 1 star is an easy champion and 4 stars would be a difficult one. Wouldn't it be easier to have a green, yellow, red, purple system with just a circle at the bottom of the card with the difficulty color? So a green circle would be easy red, a hard champ, and purple, a wacky champ. Colors are tricky. Not everyone sees the colors the same. I honestly don't like when the color is the only way to transfer information. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna stick to the stars. As for complexity, it's our running joke that there are no easy characters in guards. So starting with a complex is more like a friendly warning that 1 star doesn't mean an easy character, because players tend to grab a new game and like, oh, I mean, I don't want those easy characters. There must be for somebody who doesn't understand gaming at all. So I'm just gonna grab that really difficult one. In guards, I mean, even 1 star character will give you a lot of challenge. So I think the name actually fits. So part joke, part how it is actually. Okay. Yes, like Raz did when he tried to start his experience with guards with the Nepher, who is a complexity 4 character. Yeah, you can ask Raz how that went. Okay, no more questions for now here, so I'll keep reading from my list. Oh, wait, I didn't answer the second part of the previous one. So will there be other tournaments in the future? Depends how this one goes. I hope yes, because I think Guards of Atlantis is very much fitting for running tournaments. I'm actually eagerly waiting for it to start because neither me nor the key playtesters are playing, and I think all of us really want to see how this goes because we actually never played it like this. I mean, it always was like playtesting games, and I'm really eager to see what the players will come up with, and like, will there be any like prepared strategies or not? Because you can totally do it. And I mean, I don't have that much time observing games while the campaign is running, but from what I've seen, looking at the Discord, the games are happening all the time. So I would imagine that some teams are actually preparing. So I'm eager to see how the tournament will go. In the future, yes, I definitely would like to have more of those. It will depend mostly on you. Sign up to the tournament, and then there will be tournaments. Okay, why does the game has no solo or co-op mode? I think, okay, actually a more complex question maybe. For the core game, it just doesn't fit. Guards rely on player choice and player-to-player interaction too much for there to be a comparable experience when playing against the bot. So I could maybe design some sort of system where you would follow, I don't know, some flowchart, and it would select what the enemy heroes would do, but it will never come close to playing against a living opponent. So with this in mind, I kind of don't want to waste development time on it. I would rather put it into balancing characters and making sure that the core experience is as best as it can be. That being said, I mean, we have an idea how to use systems of Guards of Atlantis for a game mode, which could be played cooperatively on solo, but for the same reason, because it would take a lot of design and development work, we just decided to make it like a separate project. So there is something coming, Not yet now, but eventually. As for the question itself, I'm pretty sure that after a single game of cards, you will instantly understand why solo and co-op doesn't work. So my best answer to this question, drop in the Discord, give it a try. It's really easy, and then it will become super clear. Okay. What games inspired? Winged asks, what games inspired Cards of Atlantis in the first place? I'm fascinated. Thanks. I'm glad you are. It feels very BattleCon. I played BattleCon some 8 or 7-ish months ago. I don't remember already when the digital version came out. There are some things that feel similar, but I wouldn't say that there are similar games. Maybe some of the mechanisms overlap, like simultaneous action play, simultaneous action card play. I like in BattleCon how they combine the two cards. I mean, I don't know. If I would play BattleCon 6 years ago, maybe guards would have something similar, but that didn't happen. For better or for worse. What games inspired guards? It was actually Dota. 95%. At that time, I played Dota still, and at that time I played it a lot. And so Cards was not inspired by a board game, really. It was digitally inspired, if I may say so. Okay. Day 10 unlock hero selection cards. Can you elaborate on the role circles? Oh, right. So I have a list. Let me find it. My list of roles. I have it somewhere here. Yeah, there it is. So right now we have pushers, tanks, brawlers, ranged, snipers, initiators, controllers, disablers, healers, direct damage, mobile, escape, and specialist. So there's like 13 roles, and those are very wide categories into which I put every card. So I look at the card, I classify it as one or more of these roles, and then basically a character is a set of the roles of his cards, if that makes sense. So basically, looking at the hero selection card, you will see, okay, so this guy, his or girl, they have like pusher, healer, brawler, sniper, and you get like approximate idea of what that character can do, and theoretically can help you when doing the hero bans and picks to kind of make a more balanced team. Okay. What would be your top strategy tips for new guards players? Great question. Read every card. So the thing in guards, after round 1, you will see 4 out of 5 cards played by every player. Every turn, just spend a little bit of time to see what every card does, and then you are not surprised when a few rounds later something happens. And yeah, I think that's like the main advice. Most frustration and mistakes come from actual cards which are on the table, so player just not reading what's there. Will there be a crazy show match with you and the core testers near the end of the Kickstarter? And if yes, that's an official challenge. Sure, yeah, we can do it. We have a few people. Okay, I don't have a list. I should have prepared that list, but they know who they are, who volunteered to set up our Twitch channel, and hopefully we're going to be streaming games there. So yeah, now that it's much easier for everybody to see, I think we should arrange something like this. 5v5, let's go. Oh, actually, we can do it. I think we can do it. We can do a 5v5. I think it will be hilarious to see. Okay. That explains the denying in Guardians of Atlantis 1. Yes, yes. It took me some years to understand that maybe not every mechanism should be copied from a game. Which is your favorite player count? I don't have one. I think they're all fun. Uh, yeah, I mean, it's not a marketing phrase. It just I like them all. Like 2v2 and 3v3 are faster, uh, uh, kind of more relaxed, maybe. Higher player counts require more strategic thinking from you because you use the 2 lane maps and they require from you the understanding or on when you have to, okay, if we're losing this lane, I have to go to the other lane, and it has like a whole lot more strategy on top of this, and it's really cool, but it's also more complex. So if you want a more kind of relaxed game, it's 4 and 6 players. If you're ready for that most strategic layer, uh, then it's 8 and 10. But I like them all. It depends on the mood. Like I would not turn down any player count. Okay. Um, okay, Rand supports the idea of the designer versus playtester. So it's like me versus all of you three, right? It will be a boring game. You're just gonna smack me. I want to cast the tester versus game. Sure. What's in the fortress? I think I've seen your guess in the Discord. That's not it. It's related to the fortress. Okay, here's your hint. Uh, I actually try to make the locations somewhat fit the unlock. So looking at the location itself, you can often guess approximate direction where this is going. How do you know how big the big box will be dimensions wise yet? No, sorry. We'll have to look at the end of the campaign. I mean, as big as it needs to be. I don't have the numbers for you. Sorry. I think it. You don't see my calyx. It's right behind the poster. I don't know. Something like 2 Rising Sun boxes, kind of maybe smaller slightly. Hard to say. All right. No more questions here. I will go back to my list. Have you thought about a mechanism where you lose gold if you die, but get a bounty if you kill a hero who has killed you or your allies? Losing gold when you die, I tried this. It was a bad idea. Again, something I learned as a game designer. Like it's much better to give the opponent more gold than to take away from the player. It never comes across well. Something that needs to stay in the digital MOBA, I think. Um, Getting a bounty for a hero who has killed you or your allies, I think this is a good idea for the challenge card. I think there is design space for this. So I actually will note this down. Uh, there, I will not forget it. Okay, is there a way to watch ongoing games? Yeah, so 2 answers. There will be once we will get used to running streams on Twitch, then it will be super easy. But when the games on Twitch are not running, you can again go to the Discord. Basically, this whole Q&A every Friday will be me trying to advertise our Discord because it's amazing. We have great community. Please come and join us. So, and there you can see ongoing games. Is there tactical layout differences between all 4 available met sites, or are they all simply cosmetic? I think I already covered this when I mentioned yeah, it was in the first question. Yes, there are more details in the future updates. Why there is no towers in this game? How about I'll skip this one for now. Questions for Guards of Atlantis team. Which hero was most fun to create and why? Most fun. This every question, which is like, what is your favorite hero or most fun? They're always like, I'm not ready for them. I usually don't read this list, so every time I have to spend the time to think. Anyway, most fun to create. Most fun. Mm, I want to say Tali probably. Yeah, I think. But it's hard. I mean, I'm having fun all the time, like the entire process. And I'm super lucky because it's not always the case. Like sometimes when you design the game, it's a chore, but you have to do it. Not so with guards. I'm enjoying every second of it. Um, okay, some questions about pledges. Let me skip those. Or not. Okay, let me not skip those. So if you want to get several games at once, you can just increase your pledge by that amount. The discounts are only viable for the duration of the campaign. So yes, you can wait, but don't wait until it ends. Why there is no retail version? Um, very simple. We tried that. It doesn't work for us. So we don't try to go to retail anymore. Just purely financial decision. Does the all-in pledge contains neoprene mats? No, it does not. Sorry, it only contains the gameplay option. Well, I mean, you can argue that the mats are sort of gameplay option, but no, they don't. Uh, have you blind tested your rulebook? Did we have this question? No, I have not because the rulebook is draft. I usually do it when it's done. At this point, there's no reason because usually I prefer doing changes frequently and on the fly, and it just doesn't go well with making like a final product of something like a rule book, testing it, and then I have to change it. So I do it like at the very, very end. Okay, let's see if we have more questions here. Uh, okay, no more questions. All right, I'll be back to my list then. What is your favorite board game that is not made by you? I have this like default answer I go to. It's Memoir 44. I just love it. I like World War II theme. I like how simple it is. It's really accessible, quick, fun, great game. Okay. During the daily unlocks, we unlock some optional gameplay modes. After how many plays should we try to play with them? I will tell you in the rulebook. We're gonna test them some more, and then I'll know if they're fine for beginner players or not. I think challenges should be okay right from the start. The Mega Minions probably not, because they add more complexity. Uh, yeah, I will include everything in the rulebook. Like for every mode, it will say like, okay, this is recommended for new players. This is not. Okay, will the tournament games have commentary? I sure hope so. We tried commentary already, and it was huge fun. So I hope we're gonna do it with the streamed games as well. Do you plan to explain what has happened during the game? Yes, that's basically part of what we do during commenting. Okay. Aha, questions. That I have no sound too. Can you hear me now? One second. Still no sound? Can you hear me now? Okay. All right. My headphones decided to turn up for some reason. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. I don't know at which point I cut out, but basically, the ratio of wins, I would say, um, okay, it will depend who is playing. Because, for example, I play very aggressively. Some people try to play more into a push win. I would say on average in the test games, it's like 60% kills and then 40% pushes. Out of those 40%, maybe quarter a base pushes. So something like 10, 30, 60. I might be off, right? And you have to understand that it will depend on your local meta. Like, are players, do they like to play aggressively? If so, you're gonna get much more kill wins. But all wins are viable. Base push is obviously harder because it needs the one team to do everything perfectly and the other team make a lot of mistakes, and then when this type of victory happens. But it does happen sometimes. Okay. Who's your favorite playtester? We know it's Raz. Your all guys are special. We have an amazing team. Every single playtester is amazing. I could not have done this without you. Okay. All right. No more questions for now. I'll go back to my list. Okay. How this game compares to list of games. I never answer these because I don't think there is a point for me to give you a comparison of my game against somebody else's game. I don't think it's fair, and I don't think that it actually serves much purpose. So I never answer those. I prefer other people to do it. If you want to know how Guards compares to any other game, you can either find somebody else answering this question or just try that game and try Guards and then make your own mind. I think that's the best solution. Any plans to release Guards of Atlantis 3? When? Okay, let's first finish with Guards of Atlantis 2. I hope that we've fixed everything that needed to be fixed in Guards 1, and then that we would not need to do like a complete overhaul again. Well, for foreseeable future. And plan is to keep releasing hero packs, because I think this is what everybody will want. Like, the game is there, I want more content, new heroes, and we will try to provide just that. We will start working on this after we finish with Guards 2. Well, finish as in the development work. I plan to keep the Discord running. I hope that once the campaign is done, most people will hang out for more games, and we're gonna test new stuff there. I have no intentions to stop with Guards. How will the neoprene boards ship? Folded or in a tube? In a box, which is roughly tube shaped. It's like a square section, like long box. Is there any chance to get items we did not choose as an add-ons? As an add-ons, no, but I have a plan further in the campaign. It's kind of, we try to decide if something makes sense as an add-on or as an unlock, and usually if something makes sense as an unlock, then it does not make sense as an add-on, and vice versa. Okay, and I'm done with my list. Let's see if we have questions in the chat. Have you ever considered a free lane map? If you did, what didn't work with it? How many? Okay, that's the second one. Great question. I think I have it at my home. Guards of Atlantis 1 started with a free lane map. As I mentioned, I was a Dota player, so I mean, naturally I would start with free lanes. Very quickly, it became apparent that it's more fun when players are more kind of closer together, and if you take all the players and just split them between the lanes, what it creates multiple 1v1s, which are not that interesting. So I first cut it down to 2 lanes, and the old Guards of Atlantis, the first Guards of Atlantis 2-lane map was actually second that was designed, and we tested the game a lot on that map. And at some point, I'm like, okay, so this is great, but doesn't work that well with 4. So what happens if I squeeze it even more? And so I made the single lane map, which we used in Guards 1. And I actually, back in Guards 1, I think I prefer the smaller map. At least with 6 players, definitely, because we had like 1 lane map was used for 4 to 6, and the 2 lane map was used for 6 to 11. And yeah, and I preferred with 4 and 6, I prefer the smaller one. So it kind of went from 3 to down to 1 because it's just more action packed. Unless you have a lot of players, then 2 lanes makes sense. But 3, I think, would be too much. But I don't know. I might look into it, maybe at some point. Okay. How many unlocks have you prepared for this Kickstarter? A lot. We have basically. Well, I mean, some of the options go away, right? So we had to be, and we have 23 days, so we had to make sure that we have enough. So at some point we don't like, okay, guys, everything is unlocked. No, we for the duration of the campaign, every day they're gonna be an unlock. Have you considered optional higher player counts? 12 players, 14. Nothing is stopping you to grab the big map, 14 people, and just go ahead. I think the main limitation would be that you need that many people who are familiar with the game, because guards don't really get much slower with more people unless those people are new. And this is purely because you have to explain the rules to every person, and you don't want that in a 14-player game. All right. Okay, guys, I need more questions from you. I think I ran out of the ones I had prepared, so I rely on you. If we don't have any questions, we will wrap this up. All right. And there are questions. Would we be able to see all of the 4 neoprene mats to see what the differences are for the layouts? I think I answered this before, but let's go through it again. I will make a separate update where I'll cover every single map, and I will talk a little bit how they work and like what strategic decisions there are. Actually, I can maybe probably make a small description right now. Okay, let's go. So Guards 1 map. The small map, I think it's the most constrained of them all. If you take 6 people on that map, it will be a bloodbath, which I like because, as I mentioned, I like more aggressive playstyle in Guards. If that's your thing, the small map from Guards 1 may be your choice. It is at the same time the most like straightforward. You don't have much in the sense of positioning. There are jungles, but it's hard to come up with like some weird strategic idea like, okay, we'll lose this push, then we go there and do something. It's very broadly tactical thing. Then you have the 2-lane map from Guards 1. The interesting thing about that one is that I tried to do like in MOBAs, I'll use Dota terms, but I'm pretty sure in League there is something similar in the other MOBAs as well. You have off lane and you have safe lane. Basically, off lane is more dangerous, safe lane is safer. So if you have your hard carry, he would go to the safe lane to farm. I tried to do similar thing in the Guards 2 lane map, and the way I did it is basically they're mirrored, like each lane in comparison to the other, depending from which side you're looking. But for one team, one lane has 2 zones before your throne, and for the other team, it's only one. So basically, if you're on a lane which has only 1 zone before your throne, it's obviously very dangerous, and you have to send your kind of more tankier heroes, heroes who require less farm at the beginning of the game. You probably want to send them there. Maybe send them their free players and only one on the other lane. So you have that consideration. That's not the case on the 2-lane map in Guards 2. The Guards 2 map is something between the Guards 1 map, the Guards 2 map, the standard one, and the 2-lane from Guards 1. So it's kind of strategically smaller, but at the same time you have more space, so the tactical play is more interesting. Yeah, I think there's the overview. A bit more detailed than I'd liked, probably, but I hope that was interesting. Okay. Will we see any premium token add-on? Premium token, like what? Please elaborate this question, and I'll try to answer it. What is the difference, if any, between Guards 1 boards and Guards 2 boards? Just answered this, more or less. Overall rules are super easy, but some cards breaking the rules, heroes combining with others. Are you planning to a hero FAQ or a quick reminder of rules at the back of the rulebook explaining keywords? Keywords are already in the rules. They're going to be a glossary, so you can easily find the term that you need. Definitely FAQ. We're probably going to do it like before, maybe more structured. I like keeping FAQ on Board Game Geek because then it's easier for anybody to quickly respond if I'm not available. And obviously, there's always Discord. You can just hop in there, and there's definitely going to be somebody to respond to your question. Okay. Did you go through any other design iterations with the minions before setting on their current mechanics stationary with defense modifiers? If so, what were they? Minions were actually the first thing I designed. I was, yeah, literally, like, because that was the main design challenge from my point of view when designing a MOBA. Because in a MOBA, I mean, minions obviously are not controlled by the players, so I didn't like the idea of like, okay, you have to spend a lot of time just managing the minions. It didn't feel right. So I needed a way to strip down the extra movement. And so yeah, this is where I literally started. So, and I got there almost immediately somehow, pure stroke of luck. So sorry, no, I didn't really even consider any other options. I was happy with this one. How heavy is the base game plus all stretch goals released? I don't know. We have to wait until the end of the campaign, and then we're gonna see all the unlocks, everything, and then factory will tell us the weight. I don't know the final component count, and this is why I cannot tell you the exact weight. Will the game be available electronically after the Kickstarter? Yes, in the sense of tabletop and tabletop simulator, we're still kind of figuring out how to do it best, but there will be an option. Oh, like, so the question about the tokens, like metal coins or plastic tokens. Cannot confirm nor deny at this point. Maybe there is a chance that they will appear, but I cannot promise. Okay, extra blink. By the way, even though we have all the kind of ideas for the unlocks, don't be afraid to offer stuff. Maybe we missed something. Maybe there's a lot of request for specific thing. Like maybe everybody wants metal coins. For example, I can immediately say that metal coins we're not going to be able to do as an unlock, but if like everybody wants metal coins, maybe we can make an add-on like that. So tell me in the comments somewhere if this is something that you want. We can see if we can do it. Any chance we can get yearly patch to change the meta? That was my intention. Originally, we were thinking to do it with Guards 1. We thought, I even have this list somewhere. I think originally I wanted to make new characters for Guards 2, and then Guards 1 characters would get new gold cards, something like that. This was like the very first solution. So it's possible that we're going to do it when we're going to be releasing new hero packs. So if something somehow slips through the playtesting, there is always a way to kind of make a new version of the old card and quickly fix it. Okay. Any plan on releasing the core box on Tabletopia, or will it stay at the demo 2v2? It will not. There will be other options. Like final idea is to release the full content on Tabletopia, but in which form I'm still thinking. We're discussing with the Tabletopia as well how to best do it. So yes, but not sure how exactly. Okay. Will there be other Wolffdesigna games in the Pledge Manager? I missed the Trickshot Kickstarter and would love to be able to get a Kickstarter edition if available. Yeah, okay, so no, because for Warpgate you can just go to our website and pick it up. And for Trickshot is still in production. The epidemic hit us pretty in the wrong time, and so we're still finalizing that. When that is done, we will have several copies, well, not several, but some copies left, and those will be available also through our website. And I hope that it will happen before the Guards 2 are about to ship. Not hope, I'm sure that this will happen before Guards 2 will be shipped. So there is no point really to offer it in the Pledge Manager, because if you want the copy, you can just, when it becomes available, pick it up from the website. By the way, on the website we have you can sign up to get an email when Trickshot is available. So just to make sure that you don't miss out. So if you want Trickshot, I encourage you to visit our website and do it. Any plans to use concepts from homebrew characters in the future, or even officially implement them? Okay, so for those who don't know, we have this. While there was playtesting was in closed, well, while we were going through the playtesting, we had this homebrew characters initiative, which is basically any playtester could come up with their own characters, and then I would help them to kind of fit them in the format. And a few people did, and there were great concepts there. So I don't want those to go to waste. And there is a very, very big chance that some of those characters will actually end up in future hero packs. My hope is that we'll be able to work with some of the playtesters to actually make this happen. But even without that, like you can, not now, not during Kickstarter, but once everything settles down slightly, you can drop me a message with your suggestion, and I will help you to make your version of a character. You can maybe make it print and play or something. I'm always supporting that kind of stuff. I think it's interesting, and for me, it's very fun to actually help people to kind of fit their characters in the overall meta. All right. Will all the heroes and expansions be included in the electronic version? Yes. Metal coins would be sweet. Okay, noted. What character should a person play who enjoys annoying the hell out of others? Hano. Does you know this answer to this question? But or Hano, or trinkets too. I'd be down for coins as well. All right. The new dashboards look amazing. Moving the equipment bonus to the top is great for helping other opponents rapidly see what's going on. Thank you. I think so too. Yeah. We kind of skipped some development work on the old dashboards. I think we should have. Luckily, we had the chance to actually go back and redesign them and make them more usable. The very first prototype of cards had no dashboards at all. Can you imagine? You would just play the cards on the table. And then because of the sniper, I had to introduce the dashboards because people kept forgetting that when, like, which turn it is it, because you had no dashboard and the sniper would take the card back and then it was a mess. So here's a little bit of trivia for you. More people like coins. Sorry, I just joined. Is there a plan for Tabletop Simulator? I've had more success with it than Tabletopia. Yes, no, maybe. In some form, yes, but I don't have specific plan yet. Probably the first time it will come out, it will be Tabletopia, but eventually, probably yes. It's mostly the main reason is it's because I'm more familiar with Tabletopia, and when I do updates or changes to the cards, and I do this quite often, I can do it on Tabletopia easier myself. And if I have to do it on another platform, it becomes a chore. And then let's say right now it's two systems, but then another one added. I think there already were talks about some other alternative medium. I don't know, Vassal or something. It's just not feasible for me to maintain all the setups on every system. But I'll try to do my best. Okay, the discussion about the. So right now every slot is gray, but I'm scared that it might be easier to color code equipment, so a blue card could have a red part at the bottom if the equipment is +1 attack. I've seen this suggestion. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of it because I think it's more important to understand the color of the card. And if the card is like, okay, this part is red, this part is blue, it might become a bit confusing. Yeah, I'm not sure. I can try. It's not hard. I'll see. I'll try to prototype and see if it actually makes it better. Okay. Yeah, Tiger Claw is pretty annoying too. I know. Okay, who's your favorite Gar's character? All of them. Like when you spend 2 years of your life working on something, it's really hard to split and say like, okay, this one is my favorite and these 21 I don't like. All of them. It used to be like the one that matches my playstyle the most. Like my default playstyle is like get in there and start smacking people and see if I die or not. For that, used to be Tiger Claw, but now there are a bit more options. But Tiger Claw. I play Riki in Dota, so Tiger Claw is like has elements of Riki in there, so that used to be my favorite character. But now I like them all. Okay. Play 3v3 and have Hano, Trinkets, and Min on the same team. Yep, that is odd to annoy other people. What is your favorite joke Easter egg card name? There are a lot of them. I actually was considering to make the like a poll quiz something to let people find all the references. I think my favorite one is the diabolical laughter and basically the ultimate. So there's a Predator reference there. You'll see. I'll touch on this when covering Nepher. Have you ever considered items that are not attached to action cards? Something like instead of picking a level 2 red, you pick a brown super item card and tuck it onto your dashboard. Funny you should ask. Let's talk about this a bit in the future, shall we? All right, and that's about it. Wait. Okay, what is the best house rule of speeding up the game? I have the impression that heroes don't get to their ultimates in a free push game. Okay, so these are two different questions. Speeding up the game in the sense of making it faster. Make sure you follow the suggested table talk rules. So once the cards are flipped, everybody is on their own. Um, if you have too many AP prone friends, there's nothing wrong with using the rule from Codenames. I think it's just brilliant. It can be included in any single board game in existence. So the rule is they have this like an hourglass, and the rule is if you think the other player is taking too long, you can take the hourglass and put it and just to signalize for them that they're taking too long, and then they have to finish their move while the hourglass is running. I think it's brilliant. So grab an hourglass and just use it if you have problems with AP prone players. But the second part is that I have the impression that heroes don't get to their ultimates in the free push game. Yes, somewhat intentionally. Well, free push game is more of an introduction game. The actual game is 5 pushes. But the idea is that when the hero reaches the ultimate, this should signal the end of the game, basically. And what I found during early playtesting of Cards 1, actually, um, basically the enjoyment of the game, like with leveling, goes up, 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 and then person gets to their ultimate. There's like this super tiny short spike when they're like, "Oh, I get an ultimate," and then there's a realization that you have nothing else to reach. Like there's nothing else. You got it all, and then the enjoyment like whoop, drops down immediately. So it's a funny psychological thing. So I try to kind of cut the game out here right before we get there. So how it actually works in the end is about, I don't know, 10% of games you get to the ultimate and get to use it. And it's kind of, in my book, it works fine. It keeps the enjoyment and it makes them actually special because you don't get to use them every game. So when somebody got to their ultimates, like everybody is like, even your opponents, this is like super common thing, like, oh, you got to the ultimate, great. So and then you see how it works. So it's a special moment. I don't. I think if it would be unlocked earlier, it would lose this. I really do. So I understand that two colors on a card being not a good idea. The dashboard symbol that is gray could be color coded. That's another idea. Uh, Maybe we can try. Okay. Is there anything people have been asking for relating to guards that surprised you? Yes. People sometimes ask me stuff and then they hit the future daily unlock by a miracle. Okay. If you ever played Magic the Gathering, yes, I have. I actually went. I used to. My old work used to involve a lot of staying in one place and being boring. And basically, I had a lot of spare cash and a lot of spare time, so I just went around Europe playing PTQs and some tournaments. It was my like travel plus magic part of my life. It was really fun. Every card have a small flavor text and small italic. Is that something that might be considered? If not on every card, okay, flavor text. Mm, I think it's great in Magic because they use it to convey the story, and also because the cards change. So you have one set, and another set comes out, and you read the flavor text and you hear me now? Okay. All right. Sorry again. So I try to convey theme through the mechanism itself. I don't know, like Wasp's boomerang cannot attack in a straight line because it's a boomerang. I like, this is my way to kind of convey theme. I don't think that it's best used. It's best used in a game where you have like new cards all the time. So in a game like Magic, it's good. If you're looking at the same 5 cards, having flavored text there, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, we had tips on in Guards 1. There were tips, but that's not flavor text. That's not exactly the same thing. Will there be a replay of this FAQ? I hope so. Actually, I never streamed on YouTube. I hope it saves everything. So I don't know. We'll know in a little bit of time. Okay. Yeah. I understand. So the what flavor text is, but I don't know. I think what we will have something like that on the dashboard, not on the cards, but on the dashboard. Yes. Okay. All right. It's a little bit more than 1 hour. I think I went through all the questions. It was a lot of fun. I hope I was at least a little bit entertaining. And thank you for joining me today. And well, see you next Friday and in the comments in the Discord. All right. Bye, guys. Yep. Have a very nice weekend. Bye.